Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to our very first end of the year Happy Day 90 celebration live stream. Hello, Sharmali.
Hey, Patrick.
Oh, you sound loud and clear today. It's good.
Good. Who we got on?
Right now I'm seeing 0 viewers. Just started 1 second ago. So we'll just let it go here. How you doing, Sharmali? Tell us how your
Good.
December's going.
Good. I just landed in London, a little bit jet lagged last night. So I'm figuring out how to do my final workout in my parents' tiny house in their tiny
Oh,
garden.
you haven't done it yet.
Huh?
You haven't done your final workout yet?
I haven't done it yet. 7 o'clock
You can
here,
do it right now
London. A
on
little bit
camera.
jokes it. A live one, right on camera. Yes, I need to figure that out. That's going to be interesting. I really thought that we were going to get a nice, easy, like Kenzai body style day 8.
No,
No, that wasn't
we
happening.
we thought about it, and we thought it'd be more fun to just really go for it. It's a lot of fun, though. It's a good workout.
Yeah, yeah. So that's going to be good. Where are you? Is that your office there?
This is what I call the dojo of the mind.
Nice,
It's our
nice logo.
this is our Tommy room. You know, like in the Matrix, they have their special dojo.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought it'd be nicer than the usual office background.
What time is it there?
It is 4 p.m. in Tokyo, Yokohama. Getting some stuff set up here. Jess, are you there, Jess? Guess not. Still coming.
Jess, coming through.
So you're not officially complete, Sir Molly. Come on.
Oh man, I've got to do my graduation post as well. So I've got to get through all the other ones first, all the trainees ones, and then I'll hit mine up. So that is cool. Lots of what is there? About 250 people, you said?
Yep, about 250 graduating. I got 125, 130 in Kenzai body, about 80 in body 2, and then the runners and the
Runs.
rebooters. I can't keep track
Yeah.
of all those runners though.
Oh man, they're killing it. What's the final distance they have to do at the end? Is it 13?
13 kilometers, yeah. And
Yeah.
it's funny because people just think at the beginning that's impossible for them, and by the end it's totally doable, and they almost feel like it's too easy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I have to say I've got a newfound respect for anyone doing it in colder climes. I mean, just the thought of look, it's not even that cold here, but it's just grey and rainy, and the mental willpower to get out and do your workout for 90 days in this kind of climate is, yeah, newfound respect.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's a serious thing to consider when you're thinking about joining something.
Mm,
Like I cannot lose body fat when it's cold. It's just
yeah.
like
I
everything in
never,
my system fights it.
but it doesn't get that cold in Tokyo, right? Well,
It doesn't get that
what's
cold,
the
but
coldest? But still, yeah, when you're used to it, right? I can't. I've never. When I did PCP, it was in Hong Kong too, so I've never trained in cold weather. So that's it's a real eye opener for me actually. See how this day 90 comes out.
hello, Jess. Are you with us?
Yes.
Morning. I am. Hi. I'm
Good
not sure
morning.
how this internet's working, but
It's not working great.
oh really?
I can see it.
So
Go ahead.
I've had to come out to my boyfriend's office because we don't have internet at home. It's being really slow.
It's very red.
Very red.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that's the wall. It is red.
Oh,
It's very Christmassy.
Yeah, good.
are
Okay.
you up
Can you hear
north,
me though?
Jess? Yeah, are you up
Yeah.
north now?
Yeah.
Made the move to the dark
Made the
side?
move. Yeah. Well, I'm only here at weekends. I'm still working down south, but yeah.
It's nice.
How was
You're
your
blended.
flight?
Yeah, it was good. I shouldn't do this early morning flight. Actually, we left at 7 and we never get any sleep. And then, of course, you stop. There's a stopover in Dubai, and then you just eat at stupid times. They're constantly feeding you, so I feel a bit, disorientated.
Yeah. Have you
But I
done
was
have
just
you done the final workout yet?
no. I was just saying to Patrick, I just willing myself to do it. I'm in my parents' house, and it's really small, and they've got a small garden which is
Mm.
overlooked by the neighbours. So it's a different environment to get used to. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I was
Do
the
you do
same yesterday working out at the new house. I had to go out to the farm opposite to jump rope because
farm?
we've got no, yeah. but it was the only tarmac I could find. So that was embarrassing. Anyway, done now.
Were you trespassing? Did you
Yeah, I
actually?
think so.
With
But there was no
cows
one
watching
around.
you?
It was like 5 o'clock. It was getting 4 o'clock. It was getting dark. But yeah, that 35 minutes now is just. I'm not doing it today. I'm playing a lacrosse match today, so that's going to be my
Oh,
cardio.
nice.
Yeah.
Who'd you play for?
I'm
Did you
going
play
back
with
to
an
my
old
old
school team?
school. Yeah. It's just a one-off. We've got a seniors match. We'll play it like this. The old girls play the first team or something.
Is that Rowan? No, Rowan's prep,
No,
isn't
my
it?
senior school. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Nice.
Yeah, that's fun.
if anybody watching has a question, you should see a sidebar that has a place to ask questions. Anytime, go ahead, just type in the question. When we see one pop up, we'll answer it. The policy is pretty much, if you write it, we will answer it. That's me. Total transparency. So do what you want with that power. If you want to be on the actual live stream, you need to send an email to david@kenzai.me, david@kenzai.me, and he will give you a special link where you can join. So go for that if you want to. Also, this is recording right now, and it'll be up on YouTube for forever, I guess, until we take it down. So people might be watching, a week or two from now too. Even if there's not a lot of viewers now, there'll be hundreds in the future, I'm sure.
So what
Molly,
training? Yeah.
sorry, I was thinking you could tell us a little bit about yourself. The point of this live stream is for us to be, human beings, to actually, not always be talking about push-ups and abs, but
Sure.
be normal.
Sure.
So tell us a little bit about, yourself and who you are, what's important to you, that kind of stuff.
Myself, I'm from Sri Lanka originally. I was born there and came to London as a small girl. And my background before coming to Kenzai was finance, like most of the other boring jobs. There's lots of finance people behind Kenzai. And we moved to Hong Kong, and I didn't really want to have the kids being raised by a helper and doing a crazy hours job. So I gave that up and decided to try something new. My husband did Kenzai first when it was back in the old day, PCP, and I always tell everyone I really ripped him apart for doing it because I thought it was a big scam because he said he was signing up to do this online thing and he doesn't you don't see anyone in a gym, you just get the diets off this guy off the website called Patrick, he said. And I said, oh well, I really ripped him apart for it, thought it was a real scam, and then saw his results and I did it. So it's good. I've got 2 kids, by the way, here in Hong Kong who drive me a bit crazy.
That's it's one thing I try to explain to people. It's really counterintuitive. I used to do kind of personal training in Tokyo, one-on-one sessions for an hour with these people,
Yeah.
and I would, correct their form and give them diet advice, do all the stuff that we do on Kenzai, and they wouldn't change at
Yeah.
all. And for me, I don't like wasting my time, and I don't like that person wasting his or her time. And so when I started training people online, that's what actually made me want to do it for real, as a job and a career, is that working with someone like you in London, literally across the globe, I would get better results than the guy I was like standing over, And I think the difference is when you're training, by yourself with only online help, you have to step up. There's no one's gonna know if you skip a workout. No one's gonna really care. And so that you find that inner part of yourself that sticks to things. And once you've uncovered that, the battle's over. So.
Yeah. I find I think some people who rely on personal trainers and things like that, they don't do the follow through, right? So they go in the gym and they think they're hitting the gym hard for 1 hour and someone's watching them and they're doing it all properly, and then they don't get the daily habitual slog that it is, which is what they learn from Kenzai.
Right.
Yeah. And also what you don't get there is the daily encouragement, like logging in and writing a blog. Obviously, I mean, you're going to get 4 or 5 comments just within 24 hours. And you don't have that kind of contact when you're just going to a gym every day. I mean, you might see people in the gym, but it's such a different relationship you have with those people than in the online community, I think.
I agree, and I think actually you know how sometimes you think if you looked at Kenzai before and you hadn't done it and you thinking of signing up and you think it might be impersonal because it's online and you know with these people that you're never really going to meet, but I think actually after 90 days I know these people better than if I was in a gym just training someone for an hour, right? Because you go in, you've got your clock set, you want to get your money for your gym session, and then you're out the door. Whereas here, you know, we've got daily interactions.
Yeah, and
So
I think a lot of it has to do with also the written word. You
yeah,
know, when you're just talking to someone, especially in something like a gym, you're just probably not going to go into much detail about your
sure,
life or how you're feeling because it's very much like transactional. But when you're sitting down, you're actually composing almost a letter. You tend to think things through a bit more, maybe like explore ideas which you wouldn't have time to in real life.
yeah.
I love the way the written word is exalted with Kenzai. It's a triumph of intellectualism in the
And it brings
Absolutely.
an element of therapy to it as well, I think, the blogging.
Yes.
It's almost like having a diary. Obviously, it doesn't get that personal, but certainly,
Well, some do,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Some do. I
no,
think
actually, yeah,
it's
that's
definitely
true.
cathartic. Yeah, it's definitely cathartic. A lot of, and actually, I think some people probably find it easier. I mean, I know a lot of people find it hard to blog, right? And but a lot of people find it easier than having to see someone face to face and open up. But then, you know, it's different for everyone.
the most common, one of the most common, comments that we get on people's final blogs is when I signed up, I thought the blogging was really stupid and that I would like
Mm,
barely do it, but
yeah,
it turned out to be like the only thing that got me through.
yeah,
And I wish people would just believe us when we tell you this helps. You know, everyone's so skeptical, which deservedly so. The fitness industry is pretty scuzzy sometimes.
yeah. I find it. I still to this day find it amazing when you see people's blogs and you can I think I can pinpoint quite early on by the way they're blogging and their frequency of it how their physical results are going to turn out, and that's pretty amazing still to
Yeah,
see that
absolutely.
correlation.
We see time and time
Yeah,
again the people that come out
I
looking awesome. They're always the best bloggers.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
I still find I found this round, for those of you who don't know, the trainers, a lot of the trainers have just gone through the Kenzai Body 2 cycle. We've got day 90 today as well. And I had a period in the middle where I was just was really busy at work, and there was just a lot going on. We were moving, and I wasn't blogging as much, and I just didn't have the connection to my training that I have done it. And we did a raise the bar challenge a few weeks in after that, where I've been blogging a lot more, and it's just made all the difference. Literally, like all my results have just seemed to have
Yeah,
come in that few weeks. It's amazing how well it's worked.
Yeah, it gets you mentally involved, and you have to be mentally involved if you're going to
Right.
seriously take on training. And just have something to look forward to. Like, did anyone leave a comment? Did anyone read it? You know, it's the same way Facebook works and Twitter works, except I hope that we're using that power for not evil and for good.
Right.
So, Jess, tell us about yourself a little bit. Can you get a little more on camera? Maybe?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I've got 3 screens there. How's that?
That's better.
Is that better?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm Jess. I joined Kenzai in June. My background was actually in film and animation originally. That's what I studied. But from about 2011, I started getting more into the health industry. I sort of slipped into it while I was researching a film. Anyway, so my dad did PCP in 2011, and that was how I discovered it. He's from Hong Kong. He had amazing results, and I did it a couple of years later. And that was really when I decided to make this a career for myself. I started studying nutrition and getting qualified. yeah, that's my background.
Well, so what happened to the film, idea? What made you change so much?
So I was watching a documentary actually about health and fitness, um, and I became drawn into it. I met a woman at a health center in Hong Kong who I struck up a real friendship with, ended up working for her for a while. And yeah, it took me a while actually. It took a year of kind of waiting tables and really not knowing what I was doing to really make the decision to go back to uni and study and really make that career change.
Well, so what did she say, or what
Yeah,
was
does that
the
make sense?
impression? What was the impression that she made on you? Tell us about it. The spiritual transformation.
So it was the effects that it was a big transformation actually. It was the realization of how changing my diet, my lifestyle, the effect it had on my life and my happiness and well-being, really profound actually. And I guess it becomes, Patrick, you've talked about this to me before as well. It becomes almost like a moral obligation to share this stuff when it makes such a big impact on your own life. It takes up all of your spare time, like talking to people about this. It becomes like a lot of our trainees talk about on Kenzai. It's like I'm talking about it to my friends all the time, and that's what it became for me. But yeah, does that answer your question?
Yeah, I guess. I'd love to hear more sometime. We have Kim Mercer's joined the call. Hello, Kim.
Hey, Kim.
Hi. Hey,
Welcome.
how are you?
Welcome to the live
Thank you.
hangout.
Hi, Kim.
Happy day 90.
Thank you. I just finished my workout.
Yay! Well done.
So are you
Yeah.
literally covered in sweat from your workout?
I kind of am, yes,
Wow.
but I just wanted to jump on.
That's walking the talk. It's good.
Have you got a bowl of
Yeah.
noodles in front of you, Kim?
Oh my God, I'm going out, Shamli. I'm getting in the shower. I'm going out. Going out tonight. I can't wait. I should have read the darn lesson before launching on my workout because I did my 35 minutes of jump rope. Then I go and look at the darn exercise. It says 1,000 skips. I mean, I was like, what? I couldn't believe it. So note to self, always read exercise page before embarking on exercises. Oh boy. So yeah, I'm all done.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And congratulations to all the trainees watching. I'm sure there's people out there. If anyone has a question on the sidebar, you should see a Q&A thing. Type in your question. We will answer anything and everything. Also, if you want to be on the call, email david@kenzai.me. David@kenzai.me and he'll give you the special magical link, and you can pop on and talk. Love to hear your stories. Kim, tell us a little about yourself.
Are we talking about in relation to Kenzai specifically?
Just tell us.
Yeah, just tell us.
Who
Okay.
is Kim Mersch?
Well, I am a person that sort of came late in life to fitness. I spent many years feeling that I wasn't able to be athletic and physical. I have a younger sister who is a ballerina, and she's always been like the petite and sporty one. So I lived under sort of a label for a long time. And then I had run a marathon before, but that was sort of it. I kind of trudged over the finish line, and then I was like, okay, that's done. Fitness, part of life over kind of thing. But a couple of years ago, I'd spent time with my sister-in-law, who's who just lives the Kenzai lifestyle, although not a member of Kenzai, but she basically lives the principles that we live. And yeah, I spent time with her, and I got on the program and haven't looked back, really. I now think of myself as being fit, and I'm actually in better shape than my sister, oddly, for the first time in my life. So it's been a real kind of change in the way I've been thinking about myself. And I love having my muscles, and I wear sleeveless tops whenever I can. Yeah, it's great. So I'm
awesome.
feeling good.
Cool. And you became an assistant trainer. How long ago was it now?
I just started in September, so I'm congratulating my first group, Patrick, the first group that I've shepherded through.
Such a good feeling. You'll never forget the first group. Seriously.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've had some great people and some wonderful success stories, and you really do get to know people through their blogs. Yeah, I feel like a personal connection to quite a few of them. So I've been so pleased to see everybody change, And the thing I noticed is, of course, we all look at the body shape, but their faces, your first day photo, everyone's sort of like deer in the headlights, and then gradually, like week 10 to 12, everyone's smiling.
Yep.
And so their body obviously changed, but gosh, their faces, they look like on top of the world. I mean, it's just super. It's been wonderful to see.
You can even see people that try to smile in their day one photo. It's not coming from like a deep place, right?
Right.
And that the difference between a true smile and that kind of fake smile is amazing. Sean, are you on a train?
Hi, Sean.
Where are you?
We're on the train.
Okay.
Oh, the train.
Sean has joined us. Sean is our product manager. He keeps features coming and keeps the progress of features moving along. Sean, how you doing, man?
Good. Just graduated. Going to get some pancakes.
Yay.
Nice.
Congratulations, man.
Somebody say hi.
Hi. What a cutie.
So how many people are viewing this? Do you know?
I'm not sure. It seems like 3 now, but I think Google doesn't count people that aren't in Google Circles or something, so I'm not sure.
All right.
But
Well, I'll get out of here. It's pretty loud. Just want to say hi.
yeah, see ya.
See you, Sean. For the
Bye,
pancakes.
Sean.
Bye, Sean.
Calling from the train. I gave everyone, hey, find a place with stable internet. And Sean calls from the train.
So, Patrick.
Yes.
Patrick, I want to know what's your biggest diet challenge?
Personal?
Like what's your craving?
I have phases, but the most consistent craving is always a combination of sugar and fat, like a cookie. Like that. I can say no to French fries and savory stuff pretty well, but once a month or something, my meal period or something, I just like have to have something sweet, but it can't just be sweet. Like if you gave me like, I don't know, a piece of chocolate, not interested.
Yeah.
Or if you gave me like a croissant, not interested. But when you put them together,
right.
like a chocolate filled croissant, my defenses are just totally shot. And of course, like everyone, if I'm having a time of stress, I'm so weak against that kind of stuff. But you get to know yourself, and most of the time, if I can just make it 15 minutes, I'll get out of that kind of hot, fiery craving feeling.
Yeah.
Cool off a little bit. But sometimes I don't win the battle.
Yeah.
And sometimes almost you have a cookie and you're like, yeah, I feel better now, and that was actually a good choice. I'd say that's 1 out of 4. The other 3 out of 4, it's like, that was stupid. Why did I do that? So,
Yeah.
well, it's not black and white training stuff. And, sometimes you got to have that mental health cookie. But we try to build that into this program with the indulgences.
The mental health cookie. I like that. I'm gonna write that on my cookie jar.
Yeah. Patrick said so.
They're mental health cookies, children.
The problem is, if you start thinking like that, I was like, today I need another mental health cookie. Mental health is important. And pretty soon you're having a cookie every day. How about all you? Start from the left here, Jess. What's your weakness craving food?
Well, salt, sugar, fat, alcohol, all of the evil things. No,
Do those combine in something?
I mean, in England, we have obviously a lot of pub culture, so it's, we'll go for a beer or a cider, and it comes with like something salty. But for me, I think more like I love occasionally, maybe when I'm stressed, especially, it's just that feeling of being really full. Like it's just something comforting that I guess I grew up with, and I think that's probably the hardest thing for me, not to have like day in day out when I'm training. I guess it's like, the feeling of eating a lot of carbs, I guess. I don't know if that's, or just eating a lot.
No, yeah, feeling full is
Yeah.
a powerful comfort feeling. And it's
Yeah.
so tough when you stop early and you feel fine, you had enough to eat, but you want to feel that like, oh, I can feel it right now.
Yeah, that's probably the thing that I don't have. I generally I have to say I crave clean foods, especially after such a long period of training. I've got really no desire to do much else, like most of the time. But it is just the full feeling that I enjoy.
It's a good point. How about you, Kim? What's your weakness?
I like noodles. I like ramen, udon. I like Vietnamese noodles. I like Thai noodles. I love like noodles, especially those in soup, I guess I would say. So that's basically salt and fat and carb.
Yep.
And I don't eat them very often because, there's no such thing as a small bowl of noodles, right? Like you have the giant bowl. Even the small bowls are big bowls of noodles. So that's really a treat. But sometimes when, I'm feeling down, I just want some nice warm noodles. So I guess that's hard. So my poor children have really not eaten a noodle in the last 90 days, I guess, because I don't even want to cook them, and be tempted by them. So yeah, thankfully the weather's getting a little cooler here in Hong Kong, so I think noodle season's on now. But I love the salty, fatty broth. Yeah, I guess that's my big weakness.
Mental health noodles.
Mental health noodles. There we go.
How about you, Shamali? What's your weakness?
Oh, cake. It's cake. It's got to be cake. I used to be,
See, that would never be a weakness. I would never waste my thing on cake. That's
Really?
crazy. Yeah, go on.
Oh my God. I used to be such a chocoholic. Like literally I'd buy family packs of chocolate bars in my weekly shop. It was like a staple. And now I don't even crave that. Like I didn't really have that much problem with Halloween candy or the Christmas Advent stuff, but cake, my God, my son, so they had a Christmas party at the end of school and he was supposed to bake cakes and I didn't do it. I just couldn't trust myself. So I said, just pretend you forgot, Mum forgot.
Wait, so you didn't do anything? You didn't like
No, I didn't give him anything. I was like, I really ummed and ahed. I was gonna do it in the night, bake some brownies, and I thought that's even more dangerous, right? Nighttime, because no one's around to stop me.
Santa's watching, Sharmali.
I just can't trust myself, so yeah.
That's funny.
So Jane has just joined us on the.
Hi, Jane.
Hello, Jane.
Hi, Jane.
How's it going?
Good morning, everybody. Hi.
We were just talking about.
Excuse the
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, excuse the hat and the bags. I've been up since 5 a.m. with kids, so I'm trying to look vaguely awake.
No, you look good. We're talking about our weakness craving. What's yours?
My husband. It's not a particular type of food, but he's just such a good cook, and he does all of our cooking, and he has this viewpoint of everything in moderation. He's one of those really infuriating people that can just sort of cut one thing out and lose half a stone. Oh, I've just cut butter out and look, I'm slim. So it's when he's around or when he's cooking, he's now around all the time. But it's just social eating with him. We like to go out twice a week at least. And it's just constant temptation. So he's my weakness, really. When he's not here, absolutely fine. I did Kenzai Body 2 over the summer, and he was in Hong Kong and I was in Europe. And I just blasted through it because, I can just eat boring and have no problem with it. But when I've got to be social, it's tough.
Yeah, that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
A lot of people, their whole, their sense of community and family is tied around food. And you tell them, hey, we got to change that food. It's really tough on people.
Yeah.
Although I've seen people with incredible situations, 5 kids and, single parent do awesome on their program. And other people, they have a live-in maid and they're a bachelor or bachelorette and they totally bomb out. And a lot of it just has to do with their emotional context with food. And how they use food to deal with emotions.
Yeah, and how much you can impinge upon your family when you're full Kenzai convert. You know, I mean, there's nothing that annoys my husband more when I say, you know, can you not put the dressing on my salad, and can you weigh out my portion of the salad? I don't know about everybody else's partners, but drives them bananas. It's just,
Yeah,
you know, how much can
absolutely.
you sort of inflict your relationship on others?
Yeah, I have. It's been so funny. So a lot of my family have done Kenzai body, and it was my mum's turn this time around. She's on her day 90 today, and she's done an amazing job. But back when my dad did it a few years ago, when I did it, my aunt did it, and she'd see us like throwing away our egg yolks or weighing out our food, and she'd just be like, "What are you doing?" Like, she just didn't get it. And then, of course, this time around, she's doing it, and she's just like, "Oh, I get it now. Oh my God," and she's loving it. But it is so difficult.
Yeah, the amount of blowback we get for people throwing away egg yolks is
Yeah.
insane, especially in Japan. I don't know if maybe it's everywhere, but in Japan, the people will get mad at you, you know, in the family. Like, my
Always
wife's
do,
mother is
yeah.
just like, yeah, it's just like, come on, it's just an egg yolk. Like, the analogy we always use is you throw away the pit of an avocado because it's not very good to eat.
Yeah.
Same thing with the yolk when you're training. But man, it's
Yeah, and it's something you really get used to. But when you first do it, people just don't get it. It's funny.
Oh, but when you're on no carbs dinners and you've got that egg yolk and it's just soft boiled, oh my God, that was one of my biggest temptations this time round because I had so few carbs on KB2 and just the egg yolk, I was like craving to eat that, and I was thinking, you know, it's really weird what your body wants.
yeah, it's
So
an amazing source of fats in those egg yolks.
I mean, one thing I noticed after Kenzai, well, both the programs actually, is how very little our bodies need in order to, you know, kind of exist. People, you know, go for a short walk, and I think it was in one of the lessons, and drink one of those Gatorade drinks and, you know, those kinds of things, or they feel like they can now have a big giant dinner, double their portions because, you know, they played some football or something, and it's really not necessary to eat that much, you know. I mean, gosh, Charmalee and I have been on that no carb. I hadn't had carbs for dinner for 7 weeks, and I managed to do all of this. I mean, it's just amazing. You know, the body is amazing, and we get told so much wrong information, I think, about, you know, what we need, what our bodies actually need. It's been very interesting.
Yeah, especially the adult body. You know, like
Yeah.
you're not growing any new tissue. You're not, I mean, unless you're making muscle. You're not growing bones. You don't need that much food, and
Right.
it's literally, it's like a fist. This is all you need for any one portion. And people are just piling it on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's been a really big learning for me on the Kenzai Run program, actually, because it's in one of the lessons as well that after running, you really feel like you've done a lot and you really feel hungry. And you know, I survived on you know, Kenzai Body 2 rations, no problem. But after running, like I did the 13K run the other day, and I came home and I was like, get me a banana, get me some milk, get me some crackers, you know. And then I went for lunch after that, and I went for dinner after that because, you know, you just feel like you've expended so much and you feel like you need to eat, you know, a lot more, but actually you don't. And that's one of the real dangers, and it is explained in the lessons, that when you run, you really feel like you need to eat a lot, so because you feel like you've expended a lot of energy. And actually you don't really. You know, the run diet is pretty darn miserable in the middle section there.
Yeah, it's ridiculous how stupid your body is. Because like, yeah, I
Yeah.
do the same thing. If I go for a big run, I'm like the next, even though I know, like I wrote the lesson about it, right? I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
I could probably have a little more. I could probably squeeze in this, you know, donut, and your brain is just so stupid. The biggest example I like is walking. People like say, you know, hey, I walked for a mile. I can eat whatever I want. Like walking is almost a, you know, non-calorie affair.
Yeah.
Humans are so good at walking. It's what we're designed to do. Our bodies are just born to walk, right? And so you can walk a mile, which is, what is that in kilometers? 1.6 kilometers to a pizza place. Have a slice of pizza, one slice, not a big one, and you will have eaten the amount of calories that you burn in that walk. which is something like 70 or 80 calories. And so then if you walk home, so if you have 2 slices of pizza, you've negated that entire 2-hour walk, right?
Yeah.
It's just, you're never going to win like that. So I get kind of frustrated, especially like US fitness culture. It's like, park a little farther away from Walmart and walk, and now you can have a candy bar. No, it's just never going to work. So. Anyway, Jane, tell us a bit about your background yourself.
So I am British, and I was born in London but moved to Hong Kong to work in the finance industry there, and lived in Hong Kong for 10 years. Met my husband in Hong Kong, and we had 2 sons who are now 4 and 2.5. And I left the finance industry and went back to what I studied, which was art. And launched some art events, some art fairs in Hong Kong after I had my kids. And then this summer we just moved to Guernsey, which is a tiny little island in the Channel Islands off the coast of France, but part of Great Britain. My husband grew up here in a farming family, and his parents are still here, and my kids have suddenly been enveloped into the world of cousins and grandparents and muddy fields and family, and so after 10 years in Asia and 10 years without family, it's pretty amazing to suddenly be surrounded by family and all things dirty and cold.
So you're living on an island right now?
It's an island, yeah. It's a
Wow.
Tiny little island. It's about the size of Hong Kong, but it only has 60,000 people on it.
Oh
So
my gosh.
it's really sparsely populated. It's a farming village, farming town, but it's also now a tax haven. So it's got a big financial centre on it for a tiny little village, which is good for us because it means that we can work here, or my husband at least can work here. But it was occupied by the Germans in the Second World War because they thought it was the gateway to England, and Churchill just let it stew, so he let them be occupied for the whole of the Second World War. So they're a really resilient people. A really sort of quite closed community. You're either local or you're not. But it's an absolutely lovely place in the middle of nowhere.
So how long would it take to like drive around the perimeter? Like an hour?
So it's 40 miles. So they do a walk. Yeah, 40 miles. So they do a walk, and everybody walks around it. Once a year they do a charity walk. So who knows if I'll get into that? But it's 35 minutes on a plane to London, or 45 minutes depending on what kind of plane you're on. But you can be on these 2 little twin prop planes, into London. But so at least I can get some sort of social life. But for a small island, it's got a lot. Great restaurant scene, lovely little towns, fishing, sailing. Lots of countryside, great for my sports. It's been fantastic to run here, really good.
Wow, that sounds
Nice.
amazing.
But I'm the only Kenzai person on the island, so I now need to build Kenzai
You can change
Channel
that,
Island.
Jen.
Yeah,
That's
spread-
right.
spread the virus. It's funny,
It
like
is an island on the earth. You can make it happen.
it's funny, like geographical proximity is actually really important for like spreading word or getting other people healthy. Like Hong Kong, the reason we do so well there is everyone knows each other and they see each other, right? So if one person drops, 15 kilos, everyone sees that person and meets that person.
Yeah.
Whereas you find in the U.S., that kind of word of mouth growth is a bit slower because you might not see someone for months sometimes, like your cousin or something, right? You might meet Thanksgiving, but that's about it. Just because people are so far away. So go for it, Jane. Let's populate Guernsey. Guernsey? Is that right?
Guernsey, yeah, Guernsey. You might have heard of Jersey, which is the slightly larger neighbour.
Okay.
But no, I've got a lot of interest actually, but I do tend to adopt that, not 3 times thing, because otherwise I just look like a health freak. I already did. I turned up in the summer on my own with the 2 kids and nobody else, and managed to work out every day, and turn up at not only the drop off for schools, but also the pickup in my what do they call it?
Activewear.
Activewear.
So
Really
I
need
so I
to
already look
reference
like
that.
that freak. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So can someone volunteer to explain the knock 3 times concept? Who wants to do that?
Who wants to do that?
I referenced it, but Go ahead, anybody who's read it in the lesson.
How about Sharmali?
The knock 3 times is basically waiting for people to come to you and ask you first first they'll notice, right, that you're doing something different, and then I guess it was just basically waiting for people to. You can't force this on someone, right? You can't go and say, well, I'm keeping fit and I'm eating clean, and it's just boring. It's boring for people to hear. I mean, I never go and tell people about my workout or whatever. It's just dull. And if anyone came onto the Kenzai site cold, they'd think it was really dull, right? Everyone looking at talking about their workouts, if they're not already, inspired to do that. So it's just a question of waiting for someone to ask
so
you.
the idea is you're not wasting your mental energy and your momentum on people that don't care, right?
Yeah.
So it comes from a Zen tradition where if you wanted to be a Zen monk at a certain monastery, you had to come and you knocked on the big gate and they'd say, go away, get out of here. This is, you don't want this. This is a terrible life. And you had to go through that whole ritual 3 times before they'd even let you in the door. So I think it's really good advice, not just for Kenzai, but anyone who, if you're serious about something and you really want to connect with people about it, don't, talk about it all the time, because you're wasting that energy you have on people that on deaf ears, pretty much. So save it for that 2 or 3 people in your life that really are ready to change and are ready to hear it, and the seeds will fall on fertile ground, and you'll get a lot farther in changing the behavior of people around you. Now, this drives the investors and the ad guys crazy about the way we do things.
Right.
I've had so much blowback on that. So as a company, we're trying to figure out how to navigate that, keep that idea and philosophy, but also we got to do a little bit of advertising. We're just going to kind of peter along for years. So, hope we're not annoying you.
No, I see it from 2 sort of fronts, really, because I have to admit, I'm so glad that we took on Todd, because like the Facebook page, I think the Facebook page, our social media, can be so much more than what it currently is, and so I'm so glad that he's focusing on those projects, because I think we're a bit too humble, and I think we can be a lot more. But on a personal perspective, it's difficult when there are people in your life that can really, really benefit from Kenzai, and you want to put that energy into them, but you don't feel like you want to convince them. Like, I've got 2 sisters that absolutely need this program, and I have not talked to them. I know they know what I'm doing, on an overview, but I've never tried to sell it to them, and now more than ever they need it. And it's difficult to not want to put your energy into getting them on board when you know that they will be so much better balanced in their lives and so much happier with it. But if you go for the hard sell, how much are they really taking it on board when they first sign up? How much are they invested in doing it?
Stay strong with that, James. I am continuously proven that this philosophy, the knock 3 times thing, or the waiting for people to be ready, is just continuously proven true for me.
Really?
Even when people say they want to change, they want to lose weight, nothing is more powerful, I think, than leading by example and letting people want to know more about how you're getting the results you're getting and how you're feeling as good as you're feeling. The hard sell, absolute. I think we've got this absolutely right. It just does not work. If we really want people to change, people have to want it from somewhere quite deep, I think.
Right, and I've had people that have been in that gray zone on the fence for 4 years sometimes, saying yeah, okay, maybe one day, and then they finally do it, and for whatever reason their life has a certain combination of factors which allows them to really focus on their health, and they do fine, and for me, 4 years on the fence and then doing it is a much better outcome than trying to force someone to do it. They don't do very well, they fail out, and they don't get that change, right? So play the long game. And,
definitely.
Cool. So have you all had family do the program, pretty much?
No,
Yeah.
I've just had my husband do it. Obviously, he was the one that introduced me to it. But it's so hard. I'd love my brother to do it. And my mum has been. I've had Thomas, our head trainer. His mum has been in my group, and she's been phenomenal. She's in her 70s,
Yeah.
and she has physical limitations. She has sciatica, and she's primarily been doing it on diet, and she's got
Right.
a therapist that's helping her do some of the workouts. But she's phenomenal what she's achieved. So I've been
Yes.
really trying to rope my mum into doing it, but the cultural, it's the cultural thing, the way they deal with their food, and food for us is, my family, it's their way of showing love. So yesterday I arrived literally, they came to pick me up. My dad's got his pockets full of chocolates, and he's just stuffing them into my kids. And that's just his way of showing that he loves them. And when we go, I've taken my husband to my uncle's house for dinner, and they'll just sit him there and they'll just feed him, and he sometimes he says literally, "You have to help me, I can't eat anymore." But it's a real cultural thing. So yeah, so I don't think I'll be getting any of my family on board too soon, unfortunately. But
Yeah, I'm trying to get my dad to do it in January. Oh God, I wish he would. Just like Thomas's mom, he'll probably do mostly the diet, but he does a lot of walking. He won't be able to do the jump rope for sure. But
yeah,
I showed him some of the strength exercises that he can just do at home. And if he could do the diet, he eats the right things, but I think the amounts, it's the portion control that he's having. And he's never been heavy, but as he gets older, his metabolism, I think, is just slowing down. And I think it would really help. So, but I'm trying to balance between, like, I've signed you up, Dad, and, would you like to do it?
we had a year or two ago this couple, and they actually quite inspired me because they were also Asian background, so their cultural approach to food and everything was similar to my background, but they were in their 70s, this couple. They were lovely, and they started off they skipped the whole way through, and towards the end the husband took up ballroom dancing, and that was their activity at the end. And
that's
it was
so cool.
it's like a little love story, Kenzai love story.
Nice.
That's good.
So,
Yeah.
Wow.
and you had your wife do it, Patrick, right? And I remember you were saying the struggles of.
My wife, she did it the third group ever, so about 4 years ago. Yeah, and I think we've almost had a few Kenzai divorces over the years. Because when one person in a relationship is not ready, not only for the day-to-day annoyances, like having to weigh food and make different choices and not go out, but the changes that are going to happen to the other person's mentality, it's really rough ride.
Well, I had a trainee this round who blogged quite openly about her challenges with her relationship due to being on Kenzai. So it's very real. I know we were joking when we laugh when you say Kenzai divorces, but actually it's very true.
Yeah. So when I did it myself, Kenzai Zero, PCP Zero as they call it. My wife, who was my fiance at the time, was like, "Yeah, this is not cool." Like, it was rough. We had to really work on our relationship. And then finally I got her to do it, and it was like, oh, okay, I see, I get why you're acting so weird. So that helped a lot. So we tried to do this booster thing this time.
Oh yeah, that's worked really well.
Has it worked well? Because I had
a few people with boosters, and they were logging on and really cheering them on. So that was good.
That's cool, because it's so funny because we can see the open rate on the mails which go out to the boosters. So boosters, if you don't know anyone, are you get invited to have up to 5 people support you, and every week we send them a mail. I send them a mail explaining, like, hey, Jane is on week 6. She's going to be feeling pretty hungry this week. Here's a simple thing you could do. Why don't you get her a free snack? Whatever, right? So we started doing that. This is the first time we've done it. This is Iron Group. And I can see the open rates, right? And it's like, for week 1, 80% of people opened it, which is like amazing for a mail like that. And it went down like 5% every week. So you can see there's a dedicated core of people that always opened it. You could tell they were reading it, and they clicked on things. And then they're like, the other half of people kind of like, I don't get this. So we'll see what happened. But I hope that it works and we can prevent a few of those divorces.
Well, I had a very funny, not funny really, but it was a divorce actually. After Kenzai, when I did my Kenzai body, last January, 2 Januaries ago, I had a friend that joined me in Australia who was a friend that I'd known for some years, previously in Hong Kong, and she had serious weight problems. She was 20 kilos overweight and she was 5 foot nothing. So she was a really short person and she was quite overweight and very unhappy about her weight. And she signed up. She saw that I was joining and so she signed up with me. And then her husband said, okay, well, if you're going to do it, I'll do it with you. So they signed up together and they went through the Kenzai journey. And they had some mixed results, to be honest. She really struggled with the egg whites, and he was traveling a lot. But they did the Kenzai journey together. And then they got to the end of the journey, and it really instilled the bug in her. And she went on, and she actually, in the background, did the Kenzai journey again on her own, without, off program. Did it all over again because she felt she didn't get the right results. And she pushed through, and she lost the full 20 kilos, and she looked absolutely astounding. And then 6 months ago, just as she's reached her, pinnacle of her results, he left her. And the reason I sort of smile with it is because she said, you know what, I lost the weight to help sort out our relationship because, we really weren't doing very well and we were unhappy. And now that he's left me, I've got this shit hot body and I'm going to go out and use it. And if you're going to be in that position where you're left by your husband, you want to be looking, at your A game and not 20 kilos heavier. And she was like, I feel fantastic. And if he doesn't want me like this, then it wasn't about my body. It was about something else. And she's a bit up and down, but she's going out and enjoying herself and met a new partner and has the confidence to start work again and doing really work. So it did, I think it does strip you down. Doing a journey like this, it strips you down to this is not about anything else. This is me. I'm confident. I'm brilliant. I know what I can achieve, and it gives you that pace to go forward. So there you go, Kenzai divorce with a happy ending.
We have a lot of people who, not necessarily a divorce, but they will change jobs or they'll move or something after they do their program, because what it does is it puts your priorities into a new perspective. And usually most people realize, hey, I haven't taken very good care of myself, physically, emotionally, mentally. And once they get their body right, they get, like you said, Jane, they get the bug. Hey, I can change my life, right? Look what I just did to my body. And then they start looking around and say, what else can I change? And, some friends you drift away from, some jobs you find aren't fulfilling anymore. So it's so good to get that done in a healthy way rather than waiting for the tension to become so bad that it... Right?
I am living that right now, literally about, I think it was a month, maybe halfway through Kenzai Body 2, so just a few weeks ago. I realized, my other job, I look after children as well as with Kenzai job, I'm a nanny. And I realized it was time to move on, and it was time to move house. And it's been such a smooth. I've never actually made a change in such a smooth and confident way as I have done this time around. So I've just moved house. I've handed in my notice. I'll be finishing that job up next year. I'm looking for a new job. So it is so true. And I remember that it was the first, my first round of intense training when I did PCP. It was the same thing. It's never can you make better decisions for yourself, I don't think, than when you're looking after your body and feeling confident in yourself. Yeah,
absolutely. I'll tell you guys the truth. My core interest is not really in fitness, as it were. It's in mindfulness and getting people to be more aware of their life and to promote the human movement of trying to be better and more mindful people. And so I used to teach meditation. I taught meditation for 10 years. Hours and hours a week, teach people how to meditate, how to think about how their mind works. And I found that when people's bodies are out of order, the meditation is largely a waste of time. And I started to realize, it took me until I was in my late 20s, that I was going about it the wrong direction. Like, you start with the body, and once that is sorted out and you got people eating right and moving correctly and truly inhabiting their body, then the mind stuff becomes like you're saying, Jess, is things just feel right, you slide into a better way of living, a more mindful way of living, and you're actually making progress. So that's why I think we got to really stick to our guns about making people do that Fitness 101 before they try to do all these advanced programs which are coming out, because without that, you're just spinning your wheels, and your chance of burnout is so high. So.
Definitely. And Patrick, do you think, so this is something I've been wondering, because I find a lot of my thinking and decision making happens when I'm skipping, like in those long jump rope sessions. Is that kind of similar to meditating, or is that like the sort of step before that?
I think it's a bit different. So you're definitely onto something. And I think we've all probably had that experience of exercise, kind of things bubble up and you find solutions to things while you're exercising. I think that's really true. What's happening there, I think, is that your overseer mind, your frontal cortex, your superego, if you want to be Freudian, is very noisy. And in our day-to-day life, it's the one kind of talking to us and telling us what to do. When you slip into an exercise state, it quiets down because there's nothing for it to do. You kind of go back to more of your reptilian, way of thinking, which is just how to move your body. Watch out, there's a rock. Is this car going to hit me as I go jogging? That kind of thing. And that quieting down of this frontal cortex allows these deeper thoughts to kind of bubble up, and things that you've been mulling over, but you can't brute force your way through, kind of naturally solutions arise. That's how I feel about it. Like I wrote in this week's lesson, I've so many times on a quick run or a jump rope session, an idea or a solution comes to me that would have taken me 3 hours of like brute force, and it's always better, right? But the difference with meditation is actually practicing that experience of letting the overmind kind of suffuse and go away with practice. Like it's so tough. You're sitting there. It's telling someone, hey, don't think, is like the most impossible thing in the world. Because as soon as you say don't think, they say, what am I thinking about? I'm thinking, no, I'm thinking, right? So meditation is like practicing that state. Exercise gets you there naturally. That's the kind of thing. That's the place I've come to with my philosophy on it. And they're different. Right. So you can't just say, I exercise, therefore I meditate, because meditation is way, way harder than exercising, I think.
Right. And so for somebody who doesn't meditate, anybody watching who's interested in knowing more about that, what would be a good sort of first step? Well,
you need to be clear about your terms, because meditation for me, from the kind of like Zen perspective that I come from, is not just relaxing and letting your mind wander. Like there's a lot of kind of like things called guided meditation where it's like, imagine you're on a grassy field, the sky is blue. Like, that's not meditation because you're still engaging the thinking mind. So when I say meditation, I mean the active practice of watching your thoughts, right? And that sounds like really vague, but it's taking that one step back and saying, okay, I'm having a thought, like right now, I'm having a thought about putting on this Santa hat, right? And I'm experiencing myself thinking about this thought, right? And so that gives you that's mindfulness, being aware that your thought patterns have texture and that you can understand them, as opposed to just put on the hat, which is just a thought, right? So most people all day long are just acting on thoughts without realizing that they can take one extra step back and see the thoughts in action. Once you see the thoughts in action, they cool off a lot, especially emotions like anger and impulsiveness. Taking that one step back and saying, okay, I'm feeling angry with Jess. Why is that happening? How am I contributing to this? How is she contributing to this? How is our environment contributing to this? And all of a sudden you become a lot more aware of your surroundings and kind of in flow with the universe, as opposed to being jerked around by every random thought that comes along. So that was a long answer, but if you want to get that kind of meditation practice, the way I tell everyone to start is just 5 minutes. The way I always tell people to do is just sit in a chair if you're not super flexible. If you are pretty flexible, you can sit on the floor and look at the wall. It makes you look like a crazy person because you're staring at a wall. But the wall is a great way to kind of blank out your thoughts because, for example, if you're going to meditate and look at this beautiful place, waterfall, that's not actually that helpful because your brain's going to be engaging with the water. Look, there's a bird. I wonder what kind of tree that is. That's not what we want, right? We want to get kind of your brain doesn't have anything to grab onto, and then you just sit there staring at the wall, and your thoughts are going to start racing. You're going to feel like you want to put an ice pick in your brain because it's just like, I did not know I was this crazy. I'm crazy. I'm insane. Right?
Yes, I went to, when I was doing my yoga, we did meditation lessons and things, and one of the just practical tips on how, one of the exercises I found really useful was they told us to imagine that we were sitting in an empty room at the back on a couch, and in front of us this is a huge widescreen TV at the front, and in the middle was someone with a remote control, and you would see your thoughts going across the screen, and you were basically deciding whether you wanted to pause those thoughts, fast forward them, rewind, whatever. So it was like watching them on a screen scrolling past. But it was,
Yeah, there's a lot of mental techniques you can use like that. When you're first starting, especially, you need something a little bit more concrete to grasp onto. Another, like in the same vein as Shamali was saying, if you imagine yourself watching a movie, when you're watching a good movie, you get into it, right? You care about the hero having victory, and you're torn about the love triangle, all that stuff. But then you can, anytime in a movie, you can stop, turn around, and look at that projector and the beam of light going at, and you realize, hey, I'm just watching a projection on the screen. Same way your thoughts work, right? You can be really involved in the topsy-turvy world of your thoughts all day long, but you can also, anytime you want to, turn around and say, hey, this is just a thought. It doesn't have any power over me. I can choose how to react to it. So that takes practice. It takes so much practice. So the same time, we have 5 minutes in front of a wall and watch yourself think. Don't try to stop the thoughts. Just let them come. If you keep practicing that, you make your times a little bit longer. Suddenly, you can do it without thinking. You don't have to grab onto images like the remote control, or like sometimes if I have a thought that's just going around and around, I think about a record player, and I can really imagine the record player. I see all the grooves in the record, and then I see a hand lift up the needle, like that. Kills that thought so
really
fast.
Good.
Yeah, there's a lot of little trick of that, but eventually you don't have to use them so much, and you can actually just be in the present moment as it unfolds, and that's when the magic happens. And if you're fit and healthy and eating right, that is so much easier to get to that place. That's why I moved over to the fitness side of the fence.
So the end goal is to live mindfully. Is that correct? Is that what you're saying?
That's my project for humanity. Because when you do live like that, you stop making crappy choices. You know what I mean? You stop hurting people. You stop harming the environment, and you're a better human, and that's what we need more of, right? I mean, imagine if our parliaments and congresses were mindful. Oh my gosh, it'd be a different world, right?
Well, they're getting there, right, Patrick? My kids are learning mindfulness and as part of their curriculum they're doing it at such a young age, so at least some people are getting there on the right track.
I think this next generation, like the teens and the kids now, are just going to blow us away. I mean, they're so smart, so connected. Like, they're able to juggle all these thoughts simultaneously. They're so tolerant. So I have hope for the future. There's a lot of 60, 70, 80-year-olds holding us back right now. Push them off the ice floe or something.
Yeah, really.
No offense to any older viewers. Guys, we just took over to an hour, so let me do a little reset here, as they say in the showbiz. Everyone, this is our Kenzai live stream. We just finished our day 90 for people in Asia, so we're having a little celebration party. Anyone got drinks? I've been waiting to drink this, but no one else is drinking, so.
It's 8 a.m.
It's 8 in the morning, Patrick. Stick to
That never stopped anybody. We have some trainers and assistant trainers on the call here. If anyone's watching and you want to ask us a question about Kenzai or about anything, how to do an exercise, whatever, you can pop it over in a Q&A, which should be on the side. Or I think there's a box, right, with 9 little boxes in it. I think. Click that, and you'll see a Q&A thing pop up. Ask us a question, you'll get an answer right now, live. You don't have to wait for the Q&A. And if you want to be on the chat, email david@kenzai.me, and he will send you the magical link, which will let you come on as a guest, and you can tell us your story. So Don't be shy. I can see viewers. I can see the view count. Hop
Come
on.
on, who's going to be the first person to get in here?
Don't be shy.
We want some trainees.
And if you want Patrick to do 50 V-sits live on camera, he'll happily do it.
I will. That's if it's a Q&A. All right. So, how about a new topic? Anybody have any really interesting experiences in this last training round? Any moving moments or things that stuck out to you, either for yourself or as a trainer?
Well, for me, it was my first time as assistant trainer. So it was hugely interesting to be able to see a really broad spectrum of results for the first time. And one thing that really came home to me this time is we talk about these late bloomers. And unfortunately for us, it's predominantly women, who invest so much through the program, and the results just lag and lag and lag. And it was so telling to see so many of them at the same point, sort of around the week 5-6 mark, where they put so much into the program and they're just not seeing the results that they want to see. And we keep saying, okay, it will come, it will come, it will come. And even though you're on the assistant trainer side of things, you're like, it will come, it will come, it will come. And then lo and behold, it comes. And that has just been absolutely amazing for me to see some of these changes that come through about sometimes week 9, week 10, really, really late in the day changes. But suddenly, you look at the photo and it's a different person. That has been amazing. And actually that made me go back and look at my own journeys through Kenzai Body 1 and 2. And make some observations of my own. And I could see in my own photos that it was, but for me, both times it was about week 9. I suddenly started looking skinny, and it just comes through from there. So that was really, really interesting to see that on a large scale that happened this time. So that was cool.
Yeah, we always tell, especially female trainees, just come on, give us a few more weeks of trust and promise. And it's such a hard thing. The female body just it's very stubborn, holds on to this fat stores. And it's also the female body is making muscle at a slower rate, so it takes a little longer for that free energy.
For good reason, I'd like to add.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, it's good stuff. I mean, it's all good, but man, I feel so. I wish I could just visit each struggling female trainee in person and just be like, look, here's 100 ladies who have been exactly where you are, and I promise it'll be okay, and it always is.
Yeah.
So, it's cool.
Yeah, we had some married couples this time doing it together, and the husband's results, they just, and I did it with my husband, Kenzai Body, and you want to punch them because they're just doing so well so quickly, and you're the one that's being really diligent about it. And
so
and
here's a question for us.
But
sometimes people have wondered if we should do all female groups and not mix the genders. What do you think about that, everybody?
Well, we've talked about this a lot,
It would be
right,
great
Patrick,
to
in
have some
recent
feedback
weeks.
on that from trainees. Sorry, Family, go ahead.
Sorry, no, we've been talking about that a lot because we've been talking about doing a Kenzai Woman program and the pros and cons of that. I feel like women would probably feel, there's some women that might feel more comfortable training separately and might be more open to sharing their physical transformations, and there's a lot of physical challenges that the females come across, the pelvic floor issues and things like that. So in that perspective, I think it might be a good idea. And also, we've talked a lot about the actual body changing and what the guys all into, like big guns and the ab, washboard stomach, and women aren't always necessarily after those same physical changes. So I think it's a deep discussion. I think getting feedback from the female trainees would be really, really helpful to see what.
Well, I read a interesting study that NASA did. They did all these different divisions of human beings for long-term space missions, and they found that all male groups didn't do very well, all female groups didn't do very well, and the mixed groups always had better socialization. They were more patient with each other. And way back in 2000 and maybe 11, we actually ran an all-female Kenzai Body group, or PCP group at the time.
Right.
Horrible. They did horribly.
Really?
Yes.
Wow,
They were
so
like,
That's
interesting.
really interesting.
that's a an N of 1. So I
That's
don't
really
know what
interesting.
we could draw from that, but like their blogs had this weird tone, and like I don't want to be like stereotypical, but
Yeah.
it was not the same kind of happy feeling as the usual group. So
It's interesting. I don't know. Maybe I think sometimes the cultural differences. We have trainees from all over the world, right? And I think we have a lot more in Asia now, India, Middle East, which we maybe didn't have before. And I think seeing those female trains, I've had ladies from the Middle East who, obviously couldn't take photos of themselves and put them on the blog, and they trained. And so just somehow to encapsulate all those kind of different challenges. But I see what you're saying with the interaction. But yeah, I mean, I had a trainee last round saying that they preferred not to have the actual smaller groups because they felt constricted by being in their team. They didn't want to venture out, and sometimes you feel like almost like you're treading on someone else's territory when you go into another group, another program, and comment on someone's doing K-Run and you're on Kenzai Body, and you feel like, oh, it's not my team, I shouldn't comment.
did you
Trying
really
to
feel
get
like
them
that?
think at them.
Don't feel
I
like that,
think
lady.
no,
That's crazy.
well, we obviously don't, but sometimes shyer trainees just feel kind of
I guess so.
yeah.
Higher. Yeah.
So maybe we'll try.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
So I was just going to say, from an exercise perspective, I've also thought about this men-women angle, and also looked at the postnatal women's group, and whether actually there would be call for a specific postnatal program. But I also did my Kenzai Body to lose my baby weight, and I found great pride in actually knowing that every day I was doing the same workout as the men in the group. And that I was able to do as much as all of these big tough guys. I was postnatal and I was losing baby weight, but taking the right care over my body, and certain issues that obviously you have to pay attention to when you are in that position. But I loved the fact that there were men in the group, and I was doing longer planks than them, and doing as many scoop push-ups and what with them. So from a personal perspective, I like the balance in it. But maybe that's a cultural thing. Maybe that I'm used to being around men as well, and getting that benefit from having them in the team.
We have a lot of women say, "Why am I doing the same workout as men?" And the answer I always give them is, "You got 2 biceps, well, you've got 4 biceps. You got triceps, you got hamstrings, you got the same muscles as a man, and we can work them all." And that's what we do. We don't focus on anything in particular. Even though everyone feels like we don't do enough legs, that's what I hear. But we do just as much legs as any other muscle. So it's a hard thing to navigate. We got Malia and Sarah's on the call, but Sarah, your video is black. I don't know what that means.
Oh, I don't know. Hi, everyone. I can see you all, I can hear you all, but I don't know why my video is black.
Do you have like maybe a camera icon that's like slashed through? Click the camera if you see the camera icon.
I'll see if I can find it.
As you get that sorted out, we'll go to Malia.
Okay, it's early here, so it might be better to keep it black.
Yeah, you might actually be in the dark. Malia, how you doing? How's life?
I'm good.
Okay.
It's very good. Like,
all right.
If it slows down or whatnot, that's just it. So you guys were talking about female trainees.
Yes,
and I see a female group here.
Yeah, so this is all lady training. It's kind of strange. We were talking about how the females have that kind of late finish, and they're just like struggling as the men in their groups change dramatically within just 3 or 4 weeks, and they're still kind of not changing that much. And then finally, week 10 or 11, they change really fast. Just how to.
Yeah.
And just believe us.
That's how it is. That's why it's 90 days.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why the program's 90 days, I guess. Yeah. Oh, that was, I mean, when I went through Kenzai Body, that experience as well, which I think was, getting off the salt, but to actually get what I was like deeper fat cuts and have muscle really around, kind of post week 9 to week 11. Definitely.
Yeah. Maybe we should.
So I don't know if you guys already
Maybe we should
discussed
just
that, or if
be
that was
more
everybody else.
We should be more explicit about it maybe in the lessons. Just really hammer that home. Sarah, I can see you now. Hello.
Hi. Yeah, sorry. I think I
Hi,
hadn't
Sarah.
turned the light. Hi. Yeah, I hadn't turned the lights on.
How's it going, Sarah?
Fine. Yeah, I'm a little bit tired, I'm afraid. We got in quite late last night after celebrating sort of completing 42 days. It's probably a bit premature. So yeah, I'm fine. Thanks. Hi. How are all you?
Doing okay.
No, I'm psyched to have finished K-Run. It's been good. I've really enjoyed, and I used to run a lot actually. I've run the marathons and used to run all the time, and I've genuinely learned some new stuff. The whole hi Maria, the running up the hills thing is a massive revelation. I've always hated running up hills, and I've always been rubbish at it. And I honestly can only put that down to the strength training, because I've never done the strength training along with running as well. I've just literally put on my shoes and gone for it. So that's been a really interesting development. Plus, I kind of like running again now, because I totally fell out of love with it after training for the marathon, because it becomes boring when you've got to take off 20 miles, and you've got to do 26 and you've got to do this, and so it's been really nice to enjoy it again. Really good.
That's great. Yeah, so many people, they do that one marathon and they get burned out and they never run again.
It's true.
That's right.
And it's funny, people who try to do multiple marathons, the rate of failure for your second marathon is like way higher than your first. Either not finishing the race or not even getting there from day one on the start. So.
Do you know, I actually the first time I did it, I was 24, and I totally bombed it, because I thought, I'm 24, I go to the gym, I'm really fit, and it took me 6 hours. I had shin splints for three weeks afterwards. I was totally in terrible shape. And the second time I did it in just over 4, and I was almost 40. And I was in much better shape. I trained for it, and I think sometimes age comes, a bit more experience comes with age, I've decided.
Can I ask a question either to Malia or Patrick about Kenzai Run and injuries? Sarah mentioned shin splints. For somebody who has, there might be people watching with issues with shins or knees or anything like that. Are there ways that we can avoid those things when we're running? Like, is that something that Kenzai Run talks about?
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, I think the most important thing for avoiding injuries when you're starting a running program is to not increase either the distance or the intensity too much too soon. Take a gradual approach, start small, and build, each week gradually. And if everybody's different, so if you need a rest, you can work that in. But I think having that approach is probably the main way to avoid injuries, and we definitely do that. And that follows sort of the Kenzai philosophy of, everybody starts off, with a few skips, 50 skips, and then they build from there. That's just one way we can do it, since we're not hands-on. We are doing this through the virtual community, that we do have to take a safe and approachable way to the exercises. So. And
it's such a huge issue with advanced trainees who they've done a program or they've been an athlete in the past. They jump into a new training cycle, and their brain is actually well equipped for it. They can take pain, they can take the endurance. Actually, their physical joints and muscles aren't ready, and they'll go out and run some crazy amount of distance or try to do 20 minutes jump rope at once, and that's when you get hurt. So today's, it's day 90 for 250 people. You are all feeling really powerful right now, and your bodies are powerful. If you take a few months off and you come back, remember that your brain's still tough and awesome. Your body needs a little bit of ramp-up time, so take that seriously.
Yeah, I read a really nice blog that summed this up really well a few weeks or months ago. I think her name's Lissy. She's a horse trainer, right? And she had this like revelation. She was that we so often go out and like you say, after a few months off, and we expect a certain level that we're just not at anymore. And she said, I would never expect this of one of my horses. Like, I would never take a horse out that's been on box rest or whatever, and and expect them to perform at the level that they were a few months ago, and to expect the best from the absolute top racehorses. It takes years to build up slowly, and that's what I love about our approach. Actually, is the day in, day out, just gentle approach that just builds strength. So yeah, shout out to Lizzie if you're watching. I really like that blog.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. You guys know Jack LaLanne? He was the U.S. fitness guru back in the 50s. Like, he was talking about the stuff we talk about in the 50s, when everyone was still having like lard for breakfast.
Right.
But he had these two dogs, his dogs, which came on his show. He did a little exercise show on TV. And he's like, I wouldn't feed my dogs what most of you people eat.
Yeah.
Like, it's this horrible food. Like, there's things you literally would not feed a dog, and people will eat, like junk food, right? So it's always good to get that perspective. We got our question here from Sally. Thank you, Sally. Can you all see this question in the corner? Or just me?
No, I can't see it.
Yeah, can't see it.
Really? Okay. Do you have like a way to hit Q&A on the sidebar or something? There should be mouse around. Anybody have anything? No?
No.
Okay.
There's a chat box.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Yes,
Okay.
Q&A.
Okay. So,
Okay, ask your question. Got it, Sally. Yes.
So Sally's coming to the question. In case you can't see it, I'll read it here. You mentioned postnatal training. What about a program for pregnant women? Is it possible to do a Kenzai program for pregnant women to guide them on eating well, not restrict diet, of course, and to continue exercising safely? Or is it too complicated? Too complicated. Let's not try it. No, that's not. So this is a good question, Sally. We get this question all the time, and I have good news for you. This is definitely one of our 2016 advanced programs. We will get this going because it's a super interesting program, and the things that postnatal female needs to do are pretty specific. So we could definitely build a nice, I think we could do 6 weeks, definitely without trouble.
But Patrick, you're talking about postnatal. I think Sally's talking about an actual throughout pregnancy.
Prenatal.
I'm sorry, Sally. Yeah. So yes, that is where we get into the no territory because I'll break it down for you super honestly. Sorry to misread your question, Sally. 1 in 5 pregnancies end in miscarriage, right? So I mean, that's a medical fact. And if we start saying to pregnant women, yeah, come with us, we'll train you, we'll give you all these things to do as that the pregnancy advice books tell you to do, all these exercises, we're taking on a lot of risk that something does go wrong with your pregnancy, and all of a sudden you're wondering, was it stuff I was doing in the Kenzai? What was it? Was it like me trying to change the way I eat? It just opens up a huge can of worms, morally and ethically, because we would never ever want to be, even closely responsible for the result of your pregnancy. So that we definitely cannot do, even if we wanted to. The legal ramifications are really tough. So that we can't do. But we can do post, and we can do something that like gets you ready to be pregnant, and that's actually one of the lead causes of
Isn't that what we're doing anyway?
Exactly.
Promises.
So we have this. We have our completion rate is about 93%. It goes between 91 and 93. And one of the main reasons people drop out is they get pregnant. Because all of a sudden, hey, you're eating well, you're exercising, you're looking good, bada bing, bada boom.
It's a great time to get pregnant when you're that healthy.
And that goes against our completion rate, which it's kind of annoying, but that's how it goes.
So how postnatal would you have to be, Patrick? Then would you go up after how postnatal? How long after they've had the baby?
We asked for 3 months. That's the kind of minimum amount of time. Your body just needs to get its systems back in order. It needs to get back to homeostasis, especially if you've had any kind of trouble with your birth, like C-section, that kind of thing. So 3 months after that, we'll be happy to train you. And I had one lady a couple years ago. She was just like 2.5 months since her birth, and she was like, "Let me end this program." We stretched it for her, but it's a fantastic way. Working with postnatal women is so rewarding because their bodies snap back so fast.
There's one on the blogs at the moment. We had her husband. We were training her husband, David. I don't know if David's watching. Hi, David, if you are. Absolutely smashed it. And her wife was on another program, Leah. I don't know who had Leah. Leah, yeah. And she looks phenomenal. And that baby's only about 9 months old, and she looks brilliant.
Yeah, she looks amazing. I just completed her an hour ago.
Oh, there you go.
Amazing, tremendous. David's
Hey, there are
joining.
safety
I have
issues,
to
right,
leave now.
Patrick? Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, just when you need to leave, just drop out. We know you have to go. It's fine.
Okay, sounds
All
good.
right.
All right, bye everyone.
Bye, Jane.
Bye.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jane's leaving too, right?
I am. Enjoy, everybody. Have a great chat.
See you.
Bye, Jane.
What was the question about issues?
I don't know if people watching might be interested. There are safety issues with starting training, like in terms of like abdominal muscles, that kind of thing, if you start too soon after giving birth. Is that correct? So like there shouldn't be, when we say 3 months, like that's the absolute minimum, right? That's not necessarily when you, you know, anyone who's postnatal watching, like you would be something of a superwoman to start an intensive training program with a 3-month-old baby, I would have thought.
I had Jessica C. Jess, I had Jessica C. If you ever look her up, she was 3 months.
Yeah, she'd had
when
amazing
she came to
results.
us, and she was working full time, and she was just phenomenal. Her body changes were jaw dropping. But yeah,
I think
what you're saying.
probably as long as you check it out with your doctor as well. Perhaps ask your doctor to whether you're ready to start an intensive program before you start anything like this, if you're postnatal.
Yep. Yeah, 3 months is like our bare minimum. Please don't rush into anything. But I find a lot of postnatal women are just like, they want to get back into their own body as they feel, you know. And, I mean, so, Sharmali, Malia, Sarah, you have kids, right?
Yeah, I got 2. Mine are nearly 13 and 9.
Yeah. Do you have any light to shed, any moms in the room, do you have any light to shed on, I don't know, the experience? I guess something I can never, experience, right? So when you just had a baby, how do you feel? Like, how does your body feel, and how does it feel to get back in shape?
Battered.
Battered, yeah. Oh, I had pretty easy pregnancies and pretty easy births, such wood. But I still felt like I felt alien in my body, is what I can say. When I had my daughter, my body swelled up a lot, and it's quite. It's disconcerting especially if you think that you're quite fit and you've been active, and then you've got no power of what's going on. To some degree, it can be debilitating, actually.
And so once you've had the baby, how long does it take you to feel like your old self again, if that's the right word?
I think it took me at least a year.
1 year.
At least a year.
A year.
Yeah.
I think it depends as well.
But that doesn't mean you can't.
You're gone.
Go ahead.
Do you want to go? You go. Who's going to go?
No, I was really bad. But if you, as long as you.
Amelia's connection's bad.
To feel.
I was just going to say, I think it depends on your on the experience you've had as well. Because I've got 3 children who are 12, 10, and 8. But I had 1 cesarean. The first one is a cesarean, and the other 2 were natural births. And the recovery process is really different. And I think the cesarean is a really bizarre experience to go through, because your body effectively goes into a bit of shock because it doesn't really know, and it doesn't seem to recover quite as quickly, because I don't think it's a sort of as a natural process. I mean, it's a necessary thing.
Major surgery,
and thank goodness they have it, because otherwise, there'd be lots of children that wouldn't be delivered safely. But it is a really different experience getting back to when it was. I bounced back a lot quicker with the other 2.
Wow.
So that's maybe something to consider as well, if you're thinking of doing a program postnatally.
Has anyone ever seen a cesarean like on TV or live?
Yeah.
I don't want. Oh, I can't even.
It is crazy.
Disgusting.
It's not.
I mean, it's miraculous, but it's not.
They take your organs and like put them outside of your body. I mean, to get them out of the way, right? And it's just.
It depends. I really can't think about it, but I think you can feel, without going into graphic details, you can feel them sort of rummaging a little bit.
Oh God!
Sorry, Jess.
No, I love that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest though, you're so out of it by that point. You're like, whatever, I don't care. Just
Yeah.
It's been 9 months.
But what amazes me is that after a C-section, the rectus abdominis will just heal back together. Like
Yeah.
you completely severed this major connecting muscle, and it just goes incredible. The human body is amazing.
It is amazing, and I think it's amazing that you can stretch it. And I had big babies. Mine were 10 pounds, 9 and 9. And it's amazing that the body will go back and doesn't look like it's had 3 babies again. I find that amazing. The body is incredible.
Yeah.
Well, it slightly does look a bit like it, but
So, David, what's your perspective on childbirth?
Hi, everybody.
Hi, David.
Well, I don't really have any. I didn't have to experience it myself or as a father either yet, so yeah, I wouldn't have anything interesting to say.
So everyone, this is David Stosic. This is our kind of our lead developer. He makes Kenzai tick. If you ever had a bug or something, this is the guy who you should angrily email. And
please email me anytime.
David's from France, and he joined the team about 2 years ago.
That's it. Yes.
Yep. And so tell us, David, you had kind of a rough couple of months with your training. Tell us what happened to you.
Yes, I have. Well, I've been working alone on the tech side for a couple months now, and I had my ups and downs. Some periods where I felt a bit not motivated, let's say, and yeah, I tried to do Kenzai Body 2. Well, I did reboot successfully this summer. Then I was really excited by Kenzai Body 2 in September, which I started with other people in the team. And well, I didn't go through. I felt I don't know. I had lack of motivation and felt like it was not my main priority. I wanted to focus on at the moment. So so I decided to put Kenzai Body 2 on the side for this year and focus on getting back in a good mental shape, let's say, to continue working on Kenzai and breaking new stuff for next year. And I'm looking forward to starting Kenzai Body 2 next year anyway. So yeah.
So as a developer, you spend hours and hours in front of the screen.
Yeah.
For other people in your position, because a lot of people are, do you have any tips on like not dying in your office chair? Because that's what I see.
Right. Not dying in your office chair. Well, I did Kenzai Body 2 years ago, and I really liked it, and it really changed the way I see things on well, fitness and what I should be doing for myself. I shouldn't be just spending time on my computer and nothing else. Yeah, well, I'm running at the moment, and I must say it helps to just think about something else, get some exercise going, and just move my body and not get stuck on my chair.
Would you say that when you're exercising and you're eating right, that you write better code, or is that going too far?
Well, there's probably a part to it. Yeah, definitely. There's different energy when I'm exercising and eating right, eating well. There's a different feeling, and there's probably even if I can't put a point on it, if I can put a finger on exactly what it is, I'm sure there's a different way I approach what I need to code, and I probably have less, let's say, things that are worrying me, maybe with less fatigue and better fitness. I'm sure I'll approach the code in a better way that allows me to write better code, or maybe write the same code but in an easier way, less painful and time-consuming way.
Yeah, that's one of my goals for next year is reaching out to guys like you, because I mean, I visit offices all the time, and like people, they're living pretty much 99% of their lives up here. between their ears, and their bodies are just wasting away underneath them, and they don't realize that how deeply connected they are. Like we were talking about in the first hour. When your body's not right, your brain is not working that well either. So.
Sure.
Coders, we'll give you the coding discount. All you have to do is design us a web page, and we'll give you a free program or something.
Oh, and about the talk you had about marathons like a couple of minutes ago, I'm one of those people who ran the first marathon and dropped the second one. That was it.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you do it? You didn't even
No,
run the race.
No. Well, at the same time, I decided to put Kenzai Body 2 on the side. I stopped my marathon preparation, which I had to run on the end of November, so that's 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly 2 weeks ago. That was the run date, and yeah, I stopped training 2 months ago, and that would have been crazy to try and run a marathon.
It's an important point. Sometimes you just have to know when it's not your time. And we have our first trainee joining the call now. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
A rebooter.
No, Kenzai Body.
Oh, a Kenzai Body.
Yes.
How do you pronounce your name?
90 day.
Is it Anirudh? Anirudh?
Yes, Anirudh. I'm originally from India, but currently in Malaysia.
It's great to have you on the call here, man. How are you feeling?
Feel great. Just it's awesome. I've lost around 12 kgs, and
Wow.
Lost around 6 inches on my waist. So it's been crazy. People have been really shocked seeing the new me, and I'm just feeling so great. It's fantastic. Haven't felt this good for a long time. And as Nathan says, it's in my adult life, this is the fittest I've ever been. It's fantastic.
Anirudh, what was the biggest challenge you found? Was it the diet? Because from being from an Indian background, did you struggle with the diet at all?
Actually, not really. I was okay with the diet. I think the within the diet, just eating so much of chicken and fish, we're not used to preparing so much of that at home. Was difficult. And then just doing the prep work, but my wife really supported me on that. Sorry, I've got twin boys who've just come in. Sorry about that. So excited. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you think it will change your diet forever now, or will you go back to?
Sorry.
That's right.
Can you?
No, don't worry.
Give me 2 minutes. Yeah. Sorry.
Don't worry, we've all got children. Do you think it will change your diet in the future, or do you think will you go back to your old diet, or do you think you'll stay predominantly on this diet?
Well, I think so. That's going to be the difficult one. I love eating food, so all kinds of, and in Malaysia,
we all do.
It's crazy. The food is crazy here. Plus, my wife is tired of making Kenzai food for me, so I just have to control that. I plan to continue the fruits and vegetables on a daily basis, but then go back to a bit of normal eating. So let's see how that goes. That's going to be the challenging part.
Well, you're going to find, whether you like it or not, even if you try to eat unhealthily, your body is just going to reject it. It's just not going to want that stuff anymore. It's amazing. I went out to a day 90 dinner with a guy a couple of years ago, and the whole time he'd been talking about, on day 9 I'm going to have a big bag of Doritos. Can't wait, right? He blogged about it. He posted pictures of the flavors he was thinking about having. And he loved Doritos. And we went out, we had a beer, and that was good. And he finally was like, all right, let's have some Doritos. He opened it up. He had 3 chips, and he's like, this is disgusting. And he threw the bag away. And he was like, I never in my life thought I would ever throw a bag of Doritos away. And your palate is just totally cleaned out, and you can't change that. You're not that stuff. You have a chance now, right now, to go and eat something that you used to love and find it completely distinct. So go enjoy that.
Okay.
Does anyone have any other questions for our trainee here, or do you have any questions for us?
Yeah, I do. Have you done your day 90 workout, Anirudh?
No, actually, I've been lazy. So usually I've been doing my workouts in the morning. Every day around 5 to 6. That's when I do it. But being Sunday and the last day, I said, okay, I'll take it easy. And I almost was like, okay, I have to do it. But then I just went through the blogs. I just went through the videos of all the trainers. So I was going to just log in, say hi, and then go and do my workout.
So you haven't seen it yet? You haven't seen the workout yet?
No, I know. I've seen it. I know it's a day 8 workout. That's very cheeky because it gets us back to where we were. So I have to say the last week almost felt like the first week because the workout was strenuous. So I was sweating a bit more. Also, I think so. Week 1, we all are wondering what's going to happen in the next 90 days. We were very concerned on how we're going to manage, how easy, difficult it's going to be. And almost you have the same feeling now as to what are you going to do on day 91. How is it going to work? How are you going to maintain this really good life and body going forward? So it's a very similar feeling that you go through in the last week.
That's right. It's the beginning of the next chapter, and transitioning from someone who does a kind of one-time health kick and gets in great shape to a lifelong, athlete. That's how I think of it. Is a tough transition, but most people, they navigate it pretty well. Well, back in the old days, we would just kick you out right now. We would be like, day 90, see you, like we're done, shake hands and go away. But now we have Kenzai Life, which it's not perfect, but it's something. It's an anchor there. You can always come back to it. We'll keep it running until the lights go out. So you got a little more support.
In terms of the other programs like Kenzai Body 2 or the running program or Reboot, like what's the time gap you would recommend one should keep and then go back to these programs? So get into a training mode again.
Yeah, so after your first training cycle, your body has changed so dramatically. I mean, well, you said 12 kilograms, right? Like you need a good month off to really consolidate those gains, let your body kind of get used to its new parameters. Okay. So a month, and after that, you're clear to do whatever you want, which is why the December, finish is so great because you have the month kind of built in.
Yep.
Whether you like it or not. People who are like finishing and then there's like another program starting the next day, they're always asking, I want to get this new program. Like, just hold your horses. Like, you can't push the body for 6 months at a time. It's why pro sports don't have 6 month long training seasons, right? They break it up. So you got a month and you'll feel your body will kind of, you'll probably gain about 1 or 2 kilos, which is healthy. But your set points have been kind of rejiggered at this point, and your body's natural preference for where to store fat, for how to metabolize food, and how to expend energy have changed. So it takes a good month to get that kind of locked down. Then you're ready to go for the long term.
Okay.
So Reboot, Kenzai Body 2, Kenzai Run, we'll have so many more next year. My personal goal is to have 6 new programs next year at minimum, so you'll have a good menu to choose from.
Wow.
Is there anything you'd like to do, the program we can design for you?
I've always wanted to run a marathon. So Kenzai Run, definitely I want to do, or at some point try and do that, because then that gets me into running. I really don't run.
I've just finished it. It's good.
Yep. So what was the most you ran?
I've done the 11. I did 11K last week, and I've got to go and do a 13K today. Today's the last day. So,
wow. Congratulations.
But it's been 42 days, and probably the same as when you started KB1. You probably thought, oh my goodness, I can't skip for 10 minutes. It'd be impossible, and now you can. It's the same with the running. You don't sort of look at the 13K and think, you could do it on day 1, but you can certainly by day 42. It's totally possible.
Yep.
And so the plan is Kenzai Run gets you from 0 kilometers to 13. And then we're going to have Kenzai Run 2 come out this year, which will get you from 13 to half marathon.
Okay.
Which is, what is that, 22? Is that right?
20,
whatever half marathon is. And then
30 miles.
Yeah, I'm stuck in kilometers over here in Japan.
Yeah, it's the British in me.
And then we'll have finally Kenzai Marathon, which will get you from half marathon to a full marathon. That's the kind of plan to roll it out. So stick around and we'll have these solutions for you. And the cool thing is you won't get hurt. That's the thing that drives me crazy. Is someone like you have a great program, you finish well, you're feeling awesome, and energized, and you go out and join a marathon and you get hurt. Like, I hate that. It's just a waste of all the hard work you put in. So we'll keep you safe, and we'll get you running if that's what you're into.
And it's okay if you've not run before or you're not a runner.
It's better. The first time we did Kenzai Run, we had all these people that kind of been waiting for it join up who are like pro runners, and they're like, "This is too easy." Rah, rah, rah. So that was not good. It's much better to have someone with a clean slate. And if you learn to run with us, you're going to be a fantastic runner for the rest of your life.
And I do think you even I have run before. I've run a marathon before, but I was saying earlier in the call before, if I don't know if you were watching, but I've learned new things, and I've been a runner for over 20 years, but I've learned new things on this program. Strength training. I've hated running up hills my whole life. I've hated running up hills and avoided it, and I've suddenly become quite good at it, and that's a really interesting development as well. So I think it's for both. I think it's for new trainees, but also experienced ones as well.
Okay. One suggestion I did have in the Kenzai program, I think, and it's great to have the community. It's great that we blog and we share our stories. If it's possible, and I know it's difficult to coordinate, but if there could be an event, a local event where you could get the Kenzai community get together, whether it's the alumni or people doing the program. I'm sure there is enough mass in different cities, and if you organize a social event or something, then you can meet people, share stories, and get inspired by them. Just a suggestion.
I'm happy to tell you that is one of our priorities for next year, is getting more local events in the major cities. Yeah. So we are making moves right now to get that done for you. We know it's a big need, and it's like a no-duh kind of thing, right? Like.
Yeah. Let me know if you want me to do something in Malaysia, in KL, Kuala Lumpur.
Okay, I will definitely let you know. That's great to know. All right, thanks a lot. I need to have a great day 90 workout. Enjoy the, what is it, like 200 skips, 250, something like that?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You don't count anymore.
It's like a warm-up, right? It's not even a workout.
Absolutely.
And congratulations.
Yeah, appreciate this program, appreciate the guidance, just having everyone, our trainers, all the Q&As, great program. Can't say enough about this, and it's really a life-changing event. So thank you.
Thank you. Without you and your hard work, we're just a bunch of people writing blogs. So great work.
See you.
Have a great day, man. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Enjoy something yummy tonight. We got another question, but just Sally saying goodbye in the corner. Can you guys see that?
See you, Sally. Yeah, she's probably gone
Sally.
now.
Yeah. Thank you, Sally. Thanks for your question. Cool. Alyssa, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. Just I'm having a party hopping day, so a little hectic here.
Social butterfly.
Yeah, I got up, did my workout, had some Girl Scout stuff with my little one, and then finished one party and heading on to the next one shortly. So hopping in.
Showing off my Kenzai body. You feeling strong? Feeling fit?
Yeah, that workout was hard though. Thanks for beating us up on our day 90 here.
Yeah. It's fun though, right?
Yeah, that was good. We felt good. Shafi did it too. Said he liked the style. So.
Yeah, I think Kenzai Body 3 will have a lot more of that kind of stuff. And my goal, David, we have to talk about this, is Kenzai Body 3 will teach people how to build their own workouts.
Okay.
So,
yeah, that's going to be interesting
yeah.
to build and to use. Yeah. Nice.
That's my goal. And then Kenzai Body 3, after that, we are done. No more Kenzai Body.
Would you throw any of these kind of workouts, the cycles, into Kenzai Life, or?
Yeah. There's technical hurdles, which are not impossible. It just takes time.
Yeah.
So
we
right
should
now
probably explain these workouts to anyone who hasn't done KB2.
Sure. Who wants to explain it? Alyssa just did it.
Yeah, sure. So instead of 5 sets of 10 push-ups or whatever you might have been doing earlier, this one was for each of these cycle workouts, more like circuit training, where you're jumping from a set of push-ups into a set of crunches, into a set of another chest exercise, and kind of alternating different body parts to keep you moving. And not taking rests in between, really getting the cardio going along with the muscle burn.
Yeah. Kind of high intensity full body cycle workouts.
Doing like
It's really
3 cycles.
fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. As we talked about in the lessons, the downside of that style workout is you don't get a lot of muscle tone or shape or definition when you do that kind of full body thing, because your body's just kind of like, whoa, your form's not very good. You're not really hitting the deeper fibers. So it's kind of I've been watching too much Sesame Street, but Cookie Monster says about now modern Cookie Monster, now when he's healthy, says cookies are sometimes food. So the that's the first thing that came to my head. So these kind of workouts, there are sometimes workout, because if you do exclusively this kind of workout, you're not going to look that good. You'd be super strong and fit, but the aesthetics really take a nosedive. So it's a nice way to finish something and feel really good and feel really full inside your body, but not all the time.
What about the idea of just maintaining the muscle you've got? Would those kind of workouts sort of suffice for that and continue the fat burn as opposed to building?
You could, but you're going to lose tone.
Okay.
You will, and maybe that's fine if that's not a concern. But people look good with muscle tone. It's that thing that kind of sets people apart and makes you kind of do the double take. So
I still want to get a little bit more delt going on.
More delts.
Right.
More delts, more traps, more lats.
Get that nice line.
Cool. Let's see, Alyssa, can you tell us a little about yourself? We haven't heard much from you.
Sure. This was my my first round as an assistant trainer here, but I did PCP 3 years ago along with my husband. We live in Hong Kong. We've been here 5 years. I was in New York for 10 years before this, but grew up in Texas. Although I don't claim a lot of ties to Texas anymore. No offense for any Texans out there. I used to work in finance and stopped working to raise my kids, who are sitting over here watching some lovely Nickelodeon, giving me a little time. They're 5 and 7 now. And I got into Dragon Boat when I moved to Hong Kong, so that's kind of my big hobby when I'm not.
Can you explain what Dragon Boat is for the rest of the world?
Sure. It's kind of like a big long canoe, and you sit side by side, so in pairs, and they vary in different parts of the world. But here in Hong Kong, they hold about 20 people, so 10 rows, and you race at really mostly short races, 250 or 500 meters, like 1 or 2 minutes, real high intensity. So it's a lot of training that goes into it for to get the timing right on the boat, to have 20 people paddling in sync, and kind of get used to the lactic burn, train for that. And gosh, I don't really know what else to say about it.
Did you guys see the new science about lactic burn, the lack thereof?
No.
They've really gotten down to the muscle now, and they're finding that it's not lactase which is causing the burn. It's in fact, the acid actually helps the burn to not be as sharp. It's proton accumulation inside the muscular membrane. So as you're moving your muscle, you're expending energy, and there's the ATP and all this stuff's breaking down a certain. I'm making this way simpler than it actually is, but certain things are passing through the muscle tissue, which are setting off the triggers which help you contract. And every time they do that, a proton gets dropped off on the other side of the muscle. And when those protons build up, they start to just change the structure and the chemistry of the muscle, and it hurts. And that is what muscle burn is. It's protons. Isn't that wild? I love it.
Is it good for you, bad for you, none of the above?
And do they become free radicals, Patrick?
No. Sorry. Different molecules.
What happens to the protons?
The protons get eventually reabsorbed into the rest of the system as fresh blood comes in. That's why if you take a break, the pain goes away. So fresh blood and fresh ATP is coming into the system and kind of rebalancing and distributing them where they need to be. So that's not where free radicals come from, because those are electrons. So.
Right. Interesting. So that's why it dissipates over time.
Yeah, and the reason that you're sore the next day is not because you got burned by acid. It's because you've introduced thousands of micro tears into the fiber, which have slight inflammation, and they kind of hurt. So this is all brand new. Like this whole proton thing, they just figured this out like the last 2 or 3 years, and it's awesome. So we should all be careful. I slip into it too. I say, like you feel that lactic acid kicking in now. That's not true. So we can all be up to date with that one. It's so interesting.
Bring it up on the boat.
Yeah, you should. You should study that chemistry a little bit better than I explained it here, because I'm still getting a handle on it. But it's basically, the body works on charges, and electrical and positive charges, are how the body works. It's how physics works. So that's where the pain comes from. Cool stuff. Last 5 minutes of our video call here. If anyone is lurking and you're shy about being on TV, on live TV, call in now. Email david@kenzai.me. He'll give you the secret URL, and you only have to be on for 5 minutes. So if anyone has a question, if you click the little 9-box square up in the corner, you'll see a Q&A, and you can drop a question in. We'll be doing another event in 12 hours. So if you're watching and you just caught the end of it, come back in 12 hours. We'll do one for the U.S. afternoon. All right. Alyssa, do you have any awesome training experiences this time?
Yeah, lots of awesome training experience. I've been experimenting a little bit with the pull-ups. My daughter can do more pull-ups than I, and she's 7, so I've been playing around with that a little bit, trying to get the chin higher.
It's good. So many women just write off pull-ups like something. Oh, I can't do that. I'll never do that. But they're so good. I don't know. It's a question I wrestle with, whether we should. I don't know. Like, you can do things like strap the band over the bar, put your foot in it, helps you out.
I love the machine at the gym. I know.
Yeah, the gym machine things. The problem with those is people will like really they'll put the helper weight on a lot and just be like boo-doo, 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 and
I started it at like 45 kilos and just gradually brought it down. I got to about 30.
That is one of the most useful pieces of equipment in the gym. The gym is largely full of junk, but that thing is so nice to have if you're just learning how to do pull-ups.
And I just feel like I know how much workout I'm getting when I do that versus putting my foot on a chair where I cannot cheat, right?
I know. I get it. So it keeps me up at night how to approach pull-ups. There's got to be a smarter way. Cool. Any last words here, David? Can you say your parting words, your words of wisdom? Give us a French saying or something.
I don't know. Well, it caught me off guard.
David actually has it kind of tough because he is spending tons of time working on Kenzai, but he never gets the feel-good vibes that trainers get from all these people finishing. So I'll just say thank you, David. There's people out there, they don't know how much they need you. So.
Well, thank you too. That was fun being here for that hangout to talk about trainers, see trainees, trainers, and even got the chance to get one join us and discuss with us. That was fun.
Yeah.
Gives more sense to the hard work.
We know how much we need you, David.
Thank you.
The tough thing for David is when he does a good job, you don't notice it. It's like, yeah, of course the site works. Why wouldn't it work? Yeah. It's like gravity. It works, right? So he never gets any praise when things are working, but when it goes wrong, everyone suddenly remembers David exists. So.
You're awesome, David.
That's the developer curse.
Yeah.
Nobody knows you until something breaks.
Thanks a lot, David.
Thank you.
Alyssa, thanks for taking time between your busy party schedule. Have a great day, 90.
Thanks. Nice to see you guys.
Yeah, good to see you, Alyssa.
Jess, I hope that red room hasn't driven you crazy.
I have got such a headache.
Yeah. Have a great day.
Yeah. This has been fun.
Yeah, we'll do it again sometime. Sharmoli, thank you as always. Thanks for hanging with me the whole time. You were my 2-hour buddy.
I am going to hit it up for the 12 because I want to see Ward and Thomas and those guys later. So that's a good thing in being in London right now. So
yeah, we can do both.
Yeah. Can do both and hang out with. I want to catch Cecilia if she's on because she's a laugh. So I am going to go and do my workout now, day 90.
Oh boy, have fun.
And do my blog.
Enjoy.
So
All right.
We'll see you guys.
See you in 12 hours if you want to do another hangout. And
Yeah.
if audience, trainees, if you like this, tell us and we'll do more of it. If you think it's kind of meh, then we won't do it so much. So let us know. All right, everyone. Bye-bye.
See you later,
Bye.
Patrick. Take care, guys.
See you later.
Later.